Hey guys, what's up? It's Joey. Just wanted to talk about the Filthy Maggot anti-bullying month, and just wanted to talk about a few that really stuck out to me. The first one that really hit me hard was the bystander effect. I mean, that story just, wow. I I can't express how sorry I am for that kid. Um, and Daniel, like I gotta say, man, it's not your fault. Not you couldn't do anything to prevent what happened, and it was really no one's fault. But it's just something that we gotta move on from. And I know myself, growing up, I had a lot of I had a lot of bullies and a lot of anger towards a lot of people because of everything that I had been through behind behind what I put up, behind the scenes, I guess you could say. I would get picked on at school, and then I would go home and the situation would be better there. So because of that, I was bitter. And that's something you guys don't know from my story that I put up is actually for a while I did become the bully, I guess you could say. I would just, find something to make fun of someone else before they could hurt me. I guess I kind of took a preemptive strike, and that didn't last very long because I kind of knew that what I was doing was wrong, and I started to talk to the kids who I had, not pushed around but made fun of and kind of treated badly. I talked to them and I apologized to everything that I said to them, and we ended our relationship because this was back in high school. So we ended our relationship on a good note, at least. So I actually talked to some of them on Facebook now. But other than that, I kind of realized that they were having enough problems on their own without me dealing any more insults to them, I guess. It got really, I got really pissed off at myself because I saw that I was making them feel as bad as I did when I was younger and in middle school, and that was probably the toughest time in my life. So another one that stood out to me was the discrimination one. Discrimination is a huge problem right now in our country and all over the world. It's not only present in our society now, it's present in other people's, and it has been for a long time. But it's something that we need to just toss out the window because it's just bullshit. It's bullshit upon bullshit, and it doesn't get us anywhere. We're setting our own races back thousands of years for that, because we're all human. No one's less than that. No one's a lesser being than anyone. We're all equal, and the sooner we realize that, the better. The thing that I really connected with in this story was just the fact that Manpreet, if I'm pronouncing that right, you got a lot of just dirty looks, whatever, the rude treatment, the horrible name calling, everything that you can get into, and the violence that spread out of that. You got all of that, and I did too when I was younger, just because of the way I dressed, and I looked different in other people's eyes. I looked like a scumbag or something, like something less than them. I wasn't going to be good enough for anyone. I wasn't going to be good enough to get a job properly. But I got over that because I realized that I'm a better person than most people are, and I see that within myself now. Um, so I mean, it's not gonna end though anytime soon. Unfortunately, discrimination, it's just something that we're gonna have to deal with. I even saw it at when I went to Mayhem Festival uh, on June 30th. When I went there, there was these skinheads. I mean, I'm talking like hardcore skinheads. These guys had swastikas all over their chests, their backs, their arms, anywhere you name it. They had it. There was about 20 of them, and one of them saw my little sister, who was she was going off and doing her own thing, looking at the shops and stuff, and at the tents with her friend. And her friend, she's a girl by the way, they both locked arms and were walking together just because they didn't want anyone bugging them. So these skinheads saw that and they walked by and they mumbled like fucking lesbians, you know. And one of them actually saw my sister not really near the pit, but when he was walking through, he elbowed her in the face. And I wasn't there when this happened, but the thing that sickens me mostly is that they travel in no more than groups of, I would say, 5 at a time. And there was about 15, 20 there. And so I really couldn't do anything, you know, without risking serious injury or ending up in the hospital, you know. Well, shit, just hours before Slipknot was gonna go on. And she's okay. She didn't get really that hurt. She just, it was a little sore for the next day or two, but she's fine. But you know, I saw that and I was kind of sickened that someone can kind of carry that much hate for any other race that isn't theirs. And so pretty much just realize that we're all human beings. We all bleed the same. No one's different in that aspect. So, with that said, moving on to another one. The second chance story was, wow, that really struck me emotionally, just because of the fact that this person got a second chance at life. We can't all say that we've gotten that, and they were just fortunate enough to receive that. And I hope whatever they're doing it's better than what they were experiencing last time, where they're moving on with life and not carrying on with that. So whoever you are, just know that you were lucky to get this second chance and that you were blessed. The One Friend Can Change a Life story by Samantha, that one really, that would really hit home with me, because I had a similar incident with that. I had a friend that she was just the only one who actually understood me and who was there for me the whole time I was going through, you know, shit at home with other friends, and I found comfort in consoling with her. So I can see how Samantha got through that with the help of someone else. So I'm very happy for you, Samantha, and I hope you guys are happy. Of course, my story, you guys know that one. The Caduceus story, that was just wow. I read it and then just my jaw dropped when I first read it. I looked it up and I didn't know what the Caduceus was, and I realized it was the sign for help, basically, in Greek mythology. I'm pretty sure it was Greek mythology, but it was the staff that, wow, who was that? I forgot who held it, but it was basically a sign for help sign for comfort to other people, and that's exactly what this person offered. So whoever you are, just know that you are a better person than most people are, because I know I can understand your fear of having someone basically tainting your good intentions and making you look like a bad person for doing that. I could see where someone would get that, so it's good that you chose to remain anonymous. So I really commend you for that, and just thank you for doing that for that kid, because pretty sure that family needed it. The last one that really hit home with me was actually Facade, the one that's currently the last story in the document, because that one really touched me, because I was always growing up and watching my mom, and how she would be with my dad and how my dad would act around her, and it was just not a very healthy environment. I grew up, there wasn't so much abuse physically, but it was just kind of mental abuse. Just, my dad would kind of sneak off to go drink with his buddies and just come home wasted. And it was just kind of hard to see that, how my mom was not really dealing with that. She was quiet a lot, and she would be very passive with any situation like that, or if you would bring it up to her, she was very passive and shy and quiet about it. So I can see where this person finally just snapped one day, and it was like that for our family. It wasn't just one person that decided to leave. It was our whole family. We just up and left our house, our old neighborhood, and moved. And we've been here for about 2.5 years. So I can understand where you needed to get rid of that negativity in your life, because no one's able to move on from that unless they make that decision. I hope, whoever you are, that you're happy right now with your current living situation. And in closing, basically, I just wanted to say that the whole bullying dilemma or problem, whatever epidemic you could call it, in our country right now, it's very, very real and very out there. It's everyone, I'm sure, in this group has experienced some form of bullying. But, you know, it's just, it doesn't always stay that way. It gets better, and I can tell you that firsthand. You know, like I said, my music was my salvation, and that's what got me through the hard times, and I'm sure it helped a lot of you too. So with that, I mean, all you can do is just hold on. You know, it doesn't always stay that way, and like I said in my story, the day is always darkest before the dawn. And that's pretty much it. Thank you to Ian for sparking up this anti-bullying month within the group, because this is a real issue that needs to be addressed. Alright guys, well, keep your hands filthy and stay sick.